How's it going? I'm with Jason here. He's one of my personal students who've been absolutely crushing it with his one Airbnb. I think more to come soon. But Jason, tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us what you do currently with your life and how old you are.
Yo, hey Stan. I'm 22. I'm 22. I'm a uni student. Also working as a Sparky, and I've been doing um, Airbnb on the side with only one property so far in Sydney, and so far it's been going pretty well. I think better than expected. I'm pretty happy with it so far.
Yeah, no, the property's doing insane. We're gonna get into the real numbers in a bit, but just before we get into that, just last month, how much do you think you made in net profit?
Last month, we're talking about August,
Yes, correct.
just over 5,000.
Just over $5,000 in net profit. Is that correct? So after rent, after utilities, cleaning fees, everything, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Perfect. That is absolutely crazy. Okay. So before we get into the breakdown of the numbers, just wanted to ask you what kind of made you decide to invest in yourself? What was the process or the internal thoughts of you before coming to us and then you deciding to work with us?
I know I've always wanted to do Airbnb and get into the Airbnb field. I've seen other people do it, and the lifestyle they live is what I want to work towards, and so that got
Hmm.
me motivated to start my journey.
Yeah. And then what do you kind of like about the lifestyle when you talk about it being good? What aspects of the lifestyle do you like?
Oh, like it's just you're able to spend more time on yourself. It definitely gives you more time. The effort you put in, it's after you have everything set up, like the effort you put in isn't the return is insane for the effort you put in afterwards.
Yeah. And then how much time involvement would you say you're putting into your business on a day-to-day basis? Like what does that look like?
Uh, Sometimes I don't check it at all. Some days it's just checking up with my cleaners, see
Yeah.
if they're performing well, if they're doing what I want. Other days I'm spending maybe half an hour just double checking my pricing to see
Yeah.
if I can
Yeah.
maximize it, if I need to reduce it, increase it. Yeah,
Yeah. So would you say maybe like an average of 15 minutes a day, I
yeah,
guess?
15 half an hour
Yeah.
a day. Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, obviously once you have the system set up, your cleaning team has your calendar. They know what they need to do. They go in, they're sending you photos of the post clean and things like that. And obviously with your automations, with key collection, revenue management, and everything like that, it's basically just all integrated and plugged in. And then whenever you get a new property, you just add that one into the ecosystem and it just runs as usual.
yeah, exactly.
Obviously, as you know as well, having people stay in your properties, you'll get guests that don't message you at all, and then you might get a guest that asks you if there's extra soap or something like
Yeah, yeah.
that. Perfect, awesome. And then I guess to the program, if we're talking about acquiring a property. So what I've heard from our students is that obviously the Sydney mentor that we have is quite knowledgeable. How do you think that process was in terms of acquiring your first property? Obviously, like watching Sydney Insights, the video, and the videos Terrence made with property acquisition to finding that first one.
Yeah, just having those insights from the our city mentor, it's just opening up where you should be looking. The CBD isn't always available, and Sydney is. I mean, you can just go around the CBD area, and you can still get a winning property. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I actually had one past student who bought into a mentorship for Airbnb from some people from the UK. And obviously, their advice was very generalized. But as you know, our Sydney mentor is living and breathing the business model. And yeah, the amount of kind of insights firsthand of exactly what suburbs to look in. I know your one happened to be the breakdown we did in one of the modules, which was York Street, which is like absolutely insane, which is really nice. But yeah, for sure, I would totally agree. And yeah, man, I think it's time to get real. I want to have a look at your occupancy. I want to have a look at your earnings and your profit, just because. a lot of people are skeptical with these properties, not getting booked out for too long. And obviously, during some months, they're afraid that the profit and whatnot isn't as high. So yeah, let's have a look, man.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely you're gonna have months where it's gonna be up and down. For example, this month has been a little bit down from August, but down is still up.
And
Yeah. Even when you're down, you're still up. That's pretty crazy.
you know what's crazy? It really starts to shoot up in October, and then November, December, summer seasons.
Yeah.
It's gonna blow your mind. It's August is considered a slow month compared to summer. But let's have a look here. So let's start off with your listing. Let's have a look at your beautiful listing first. I just want to see the photos.
So
Wait, how many
yeah.
listings do you have now?
No, so this one, so these are just what I've been doing on top on the side.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'll
sure,
show you
sure. Okay,
after.
no worries. That's fine. Yeah, you show me after.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's have a look at this listing, man. Let's have a look. If you want to click view.
So I got after our call last time, I actually went to get my photos redone. I put some more artwork in.
Perfect,
Um,
perfect.
I only used like one old photo.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, decided to go for the night shot for my first cover photo because
Nice, nice.
there's a lot of Airbnbs in this building and they all looked the same. Everyone was showing off the pool and the room. Yeah, I mean, like I didn't really need to show the pool if everyone else had it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, it's definitely working well if you're pulling in 5,000 profit a month.
yeah,
But beautiful. Let's just have a quick scan through the photos. Amazing. Obviously, that open view really looks like a high-end New York apartment. That's what it's kind of giving off. But yeah, I mean, you killed it with the furnishing. Absolutely beautiful. And then what are you paying in rent for this property?
yeah, rent super high, 1,400 a week.
1,400 a week. That is crazy. That is crazy. But obviously,
Yeah,
as long as the revenue is there and the profits reflected, then we're happy paying any amount.
of
Perfect.
course,
Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. So 1,400, that is 200 a day. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that 200 a day? That's right.
100 a day.
So 200 a day no matter what. So even if your property doesn't get booked, you're paying the landlord 200 a day theoretically. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, looks perfect, man. Let's go on to your earnings. Let's have a look at the earnings. So if you go to your earnings tab, what are we looking at here, Jason?
So this is 12,500 for the month of August. That is the payout we received after all our Airbnb service fees.
Okay, so after platform fees, which is, Airbnb does take 16.5, so this has been taken off, and then this is what we're left with, and of course, it's still not all profit, so we do have to minus obviously the biggest expense, which is rent, and then we have to minus how many cleans were there and utilities. We can account for a small software charge, I guess. So with 12,541, what is your monthly rent?
A monthly rent. So a weekly rent is 1,400. So we'll times that by four.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll have 1,400 times 4. So that's around 5.6K, okay? So we're going to minus 5,600. So you're left with 6,941 after your big expense, which is rent. And then how many cleans did you have during this stay?
This month we had
Oh, this month, sorry. Yeah.
seven
7.
cleans,
Yep.
around 200 per clean.
Okay. So that is minus 1,400.
Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. And then now we're left with 5,541. And then we can account for utilities. So generally 1 month, 2 bedroom apartment, we can assume for $300.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky. I don't have to pay water in this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually 230 a month for utilities.
Sure. Okay. Let's do 230. After utilities, rent, and cleans, we're left with 5,311. And then I guess we can factor in Netflix and the software charge for Price Labs, which is the dynamic pricing software, and HostAway. So that's $50 a month per listing, 15 plus $15 per month, and plus another 20. So let's just say $80. Okay. So after everything, you made $51 in net profit from 1 month from just this property.
Sounds about right.
That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And off time involvement, 15 minutes a day, which is crazy. So let's have a look now at your calendar. I'd love to see the occupancy just to show How booked out we are. Perfect. Okay, so let's start with August here. Awesome. Okay.
So I started in June, mid-June. So no bookings there, only one.
Yep.
July we had a really long booking.
Okay, beautiful. So you've got, okay, just to pause there, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days unfilled. Okay. So that's
Yeah,
around 80% occupancy, I'd say.
yeah, around there. Yeah,
Yeah. That's 90%, around 90% occupancy. And then August here, let's have a look. So you had 1 night vacant, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. Okay, same thing. So around 80 to 90% occupancy.
yeah.
Perfect. And then what are we looking like in September? How was the occupancy?
But
Perfect. So
yeah,
exactly the same. Looks like you're averaging 80 to 90%. So for 4 nights off.
yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And then
Uh,
let's just have a look at the future months. So let's have a look at October out of curiosity.
October we're
Okay,
currently at a 55% occupancy.
awesome, which is quite good, I would say. Leading into the next month, we do have a little bit of lead time or a lot of lead time.
Yeah,
Having the calendar, around the 35 to 50% is always a healthy margin moving forward. And and then we're still unbooked for the holiday season and whatnot. Okay, perfect. That looks amazing. Perfect. Let's just have a look at one of those October bookings. So if you want to just hover over any of them. Okay, so this is crazy. So 3 nights, if we go down, so we scroll further down. So we go here. Okay, the host payout. So this is after Airbnb takes their fee. As you can see here, guest paid, and we're taking off the guest service fee there. So our payout 2,405, and then your daily rent is 200. So that's $600 in rent that we're paying. So 2,405 minus rent is 1,800. Utilities pretty marginal for 3 days and whatnot. So we're just gonna say, $50. And then the clean, which is 200. So we're left with 1,555 in profit just over those 3 nights for that one booking. Pretty crazy. How does it feel to see these numbers and for these numbers to hit the bank account?
it's unreal. I'd say it's pretty unreal that people are paying other people for this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure, for sure. And then how has this changed your financial situation, I guess? Is it making more than your full-time job or?
Yeah, I only work part time. I'm working part time, but it feels like I'm making full time. Yeah,
Awesome, awesome.
definitely making more than my job at the moment.
Awesome, awesome. And when you first started, I guess you had no idea about how an Airbnb operation ran. And then after learning from us and seeing the inner workings of a 40 plus property portfolio, how would you describe the shift in your understanding of how this works without your physical involvement, how the whole process works, and what really surprised you about the whole process?
Yeah, originally I thought it would be very tedious to be a host, but after implementing your systems and automations, I think it's made everything very much easier.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
And you feel like moving forward, basically the way I like to think about it is, we've gone through all this struggle to really fine tune a blueprint at a very high level where we can pass on to our students from day one, right? So you're becoming a skilled operator. Basically, you could have 40 properties based on how efficient your operations are. Now, moving forward, I like to think of it as all you need to do is acquire new properties, and then you just add it into your systems and operations, and then it's just another income generating machine where you don't
yeah,
have to worry about it. That's
yeah.
kind of how I view it when I add properties to my portfolio now. But no, that's amazing. And what did it feel like to get your first big win? Talk me through kind of that process.
My first big win.
Yeah, yeah, like that first big booking.
Um, yeah, I was the very first. I think it was in July. When I just uploaded the listing, and someone had just booked a 19-night stay. They paid like $6,200. Um, just off that, like yeah. I was
What
I
did it
was
feel
just
like?
I was just amazed. that booking itself paid for the monthly rent, and then whatever came afterwards was like thousands of dollars just in your pocket. Like it was just pure profit after that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
amazing,
so it
amazing.
was pretty cool. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And if you could go back and talk to yourself before you joined, what would you say?
I would tell myself, I wish I had started earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly what.
give myself more time if I had started earlier. Yeah, for
For
sure.
sure. That's exactly what I think. So I started when I was 24. I'm 26 now. Um, you know, dwelling in the past never good. Obviously, we're both. I mean, I'm sure you're very grateful that you started. All right. Okay. Final question, bro. I know you're busy, and if you haven't done your 15 minutes today, you might have to squeeze that 15 minutes in today. But what would you say to someone your age or anyone really who's doubting whether they can do this? So they're not sure that they can do this.
Yeah, I'll tell them like I had doubts too. Obviously, it's not when you start out. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. You don't know how it's gonna go. You don't know if your property is gonna perform well. But you just have to tell yourself that you're just gonna outperform everyone.
Mm.
And if you tell yourself that, you will do better than
Yeah.
everyone else around. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful. Love the advice, man. All right. I'm going to end it there, but thank you very much for taking the time out to have this conversation with me. Love that you're crushing it. I think after this interview ends as well, we're going to dive into some more properties and we're going to have a look. So very excited for your journey, man. Always love seeing young people kill it. So thank you very much, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Awesome.